Intro as soon as it says we're live. You are live. Turn my volume up. And then we start that one and add this.
All right.
Nope, we did that one.
Here we are.
No, it's got the other one going. No, we didn't transition that. I did this little piece of graphic work myself, as you can probably tell. Good morning, everyone.
Hey.
Here is our mystery guest. Oh man, he's even growing a mustache for the occasion.
Yeah, look at
Yeah,
that.
you can actually see it. I mean, I feel special that he's growing facial hair just for the stream.
No, my daughter wants this, so it's the summer of the stash. I'm calling
The
it.
summer of the stash. I like it. I like it a lot. Oh, let's see who we had come in here. We had Tom Kingery and Old Palon last night. Keegan M at 1:54 this morning. Keegan, I wasn't even home yet.
Yeah, we
There
got
I am.
Randy in the
I
house.
just walked in the door there at that 3:25 a.m. post. Past and present, good morning. DK1 Detect, good morning. Danny N. got Relics, Rhode Island. Mrs. Candu's here early this morning. Thank you very much, ma'am.
KZ Kid.
Mark, yeah,
he was
Mark
here
C.
this morning.
Hey, that Detecting Smile guy's here.
Yeah.
But it's a picture that's different. It doesn't have a hat and a stash. Okay, John, Metal Detecting with CZ Kid says, I can't answer the poll question. It does not apply to me. She likes that I have an enjoyable hobby and encourages me to head out, though she refuses to pick up a metal detector. She sure likes the good finds. CZ Kid, I would probably have to say yes. I'd go out more if she lets me, but I got to admit, Denise isn't very strict with my metal detecting. If I get my honeydews and my chores done, and or if she's going to bed early, you know, if she's got like a 6 o'clock airport run to take a client to the airport, and she's got to be up at 6, and she goes to bed at 7 or 8, she's like, "Hey, you can go to Clearwater Beach all night. I'm going to be sleeping. I don't care." So,
yeah, but my wife likes the chores to be done.
that's all Denise has. So, and then also that what was I just going? I just lost it. What was I just going to say? Oh, and I don't know.
You have a red hat on.
She encourages me to go out, but she refuses to pick up a metal detector. Denise refuses to pick up a camera. She will not go out with me one time to be my camera person because she knows if I ask her to do it one time, she'll say, "Honey, but you did it that time. Can't you help me out today?" So she doesn't even want to get started.
Yeah, my wife does a little bit of recording. I always like because it's a different angle then.
Yes, and it's great having a two-person angle. There's a. Did you see B. Higgles' video? He did that 30-40 minute movie that he did that on that synopsis of the old school that he got.
Yes.
I have a relic find that is sitting in a museum, our local museum / historical society, and I'm not going to give this away too much, but when I sent it to them, their researcher, their archaeologist, didn't know what it was. I mean, she knew what the item was, but she'd never heard of the person on the relic. So she called me a few days later and she says, I had to go back to a 1905 newspaper and I found one mention of this person in a 1905 newspaper. And it turned out to be a business that the city had in 1905 that burned down that nobody even knew existed.
Wow.
And my relic is the only relic of that business that the city didn't even know existed because the entire block burned down and all the records were lost. So by my relic, she traced it back through the newspaper article, and it's the only relic associated that's known to that business. So I'm going to be doing a 30-minute movie on it. And Miss Denise Kay, who goes to the beach with me, she said, I'll volunteer and be your, because I'm going to walk through the city and describe the city. And I've gotten some of my oldest finds in the city. So we're going to do an overview of the city. And she's going to be my camera person for this 30-minute video I do.
Oh, that'll be cool.
Yeah. So
yeah.
So good morning, Tom.
Good morning.
Good morning, Scott McClory. Good morning, Papa Bill, Billster, Tom Kingery, Lyle Okamoto, Miss Tanya Elliott. She is always here bright and early in the morning. Scott McClory, Scott Jarvie. He's here early this morning. Thank you, Scott. Blistering Barnacle Magnets. I would like to say a special thank you for Barnacles, because I sat up here. I can't say last night. It was this morning that I watched the entire stream from last week on fast forward so I could put all the names in for the duck race today. And Mr. Blistering Barnacles was there from the very beginning, and he was one of the most engaged and chatty people in the chat. So thank you, Blistering Barnacles. Miss Jane Doe's here. Good morning. Yeah, Mr. Randy, I am in full Randy mode this morning. I have my metal detecting with Randy.
Look at that.
I have my Tesla hat on that Mr. Randy helps me with, and I have my Elon Musk SpaceX shirt on. I am full blown Mr. Randy this morning.
Oh, geez.
He and for people that don't know that reference, including yourself, Mr. Randy works for a major supplier to Tesla. And Mr. Randy travels all across the country sourcing that material for Tesla. And
he does.
He gets to visit some of the Tesla factories and meet with people there for his item, for his product. So when Randy calls me and tells me that he's busier than hell, that's a good day for me and my Tesla stock. So, and they're reporting earnings today. And if they can beat earnings today, I'm hoping the stock goes up tomorrow.
Got past and present metal detecting came in.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, Savage Batman. Ohio Freddle's here. Good morning, everyone. Happy to be here. Thank you, Freddle. We are too.
Good morning, Melvin. Files.
717 Detector Orlando. Expressions of Outdoor. See, Randy, it's 9:07. I'm at 9:01 in the chat. So we're starting the day off absolutely normal. Rob's behind. Mark C. Good morning. Tom Kingery. Miss Sandy Coils. Man, I don't want to get this wrong, but if my memory correctly, Miss Sandy Coils is the digging partner or sometimes digging partner of Miss Kay. And if I'm remembering correctly, I met her when her and Kay came here to Florida, and we went to one of my big permissions with Pat. The Bud Files. Silver Paz 22 is here bright and early. Mr. Martin Smythe, a name I still think should be in the movies. Just sounds like a British actor.
Good morning, Marty Vista.
Lyle Okamo. Mr. Chappie's here this morning.
Straight up metal detecting.
Jane Doe says, I am Peter's most faithful follower. Look at that. Peter's bringing his own crowd to the room today.
That's my mother. That's my mother, if anyone doesn't know. So I needed support.
Go, Mom, okay? Hey, I'm hoping my sister's here today. That would give me some support too.
Yeah, the family times.
There you go. Morning, Frederick Romano. Good morning, Whistle Pig Dale. Good morning, getting ready to head out. Happy 4th of July weekend. Mr. Dale always gets out digging on Sunday mornings. Stu's metal detecting's here early. You know, it's great to see all these
metal
things here that I just
welcome.
typed into my computer.
Just be cool, metal detecting.
717's got a new short up, guys. Puts his link in there. Please check it out.
Yep, check the links.
Good morning, Rob and Peter. Wow, that blank picture I put of a mystery guest, Peter. Man, people just caught right on to this. All right, I want to make sure I don't miss anybody here. Savage Batman, past and present. Marty V.
Good morning, Crazy About a Mercury.
Miss Crazy About a Mercury. That is Miss Diana And Hot Mess Fishing is Mr. Alicia or Elijah. It's
Okay.
taken me months to make sure I try and get those two straight. I had to leave myself notes up here on the computer.
I'm terrible with names too.
So am I,
Just
buddy.
can't do it.
Mr. Tripwire here. Good morning. What's going on? Diggers and diggerettes. I love when he says that. Stu says, be right back. Need my glasses.
Good morning, JP Lons and more.
Good morning, JP. I just typed your name in for the race too because you were here last week.
Oh, we got a super chat, I think, there. See Happy Chappy. Thank
Mr.
you.
Happy Chappy is always my man for $2. Thank you so much, Chappy.
It's the support the $2 bill.
That's right. I could buy my $2 bills with those.
Yes, you can.
Scott, I haven't even started working on it, buddy. I want to get a better program for thumbnails first. Because Mr. Shane Ohio River History busts my you know what whenever he gets the chance. And my last Monday digs had one whole 2 or 3 minute segment where the camera was out of focus, and he just spent that 2 minutes just, oh my eyes, oh I can't see what happened. Why is it out of focus? He just busted my butt the whole 2 minutes.
Good morning, Fun with Dirt.
Morning, Fun with Dirt. Yeah, see, look, your mom's saying, but my real claim to fame is I am Peter's mom. Look at that. Way to go,
There you go.
My mother would have never said that. I'm not telling anybody I'm Rob's mom.
Thank you. Keep digging, Metal Detector. The super chat.
Thank you very much, guys. I'll get to them in 1 second. Good morning, Moon over Miami. There's Lyle. Okay, can't stay. Stopped in to say hi. I got the vault and CMG to work on. Thank you, Tripwire. Appreciate you stopping in, buddy. Much, much appreciated. Mystic Librarian, dig it, go, go, go.
Good morning, Tom.
Good morning, Tom Kingery. Yeah, it's great seeing all these names that I just typed in 4 hours ago. Peter, I got to bed. I walked in, looked at the clock next to the bed. It was 5:01 this morning.
Wow.
So if I fall off out of the picture, okay, it's.
Well, don't put a blanket around yourself. You'll go take a nap in your chair.
I had to fight. I had to fight taking a nap here last night while I was working on these races. You know, when you're making coffee at 3:40 in the morning, that's not a good thing, buddy. Silver Paws, anytime, sir. If I can pop in a chat while I'm you know, like somebody else is sitting there this morning while you're editing or something, or if I'm doing a box of coins. By the way, guys, that coin video I posted Saturday morning or Friday night was box 1 of 2, and we were talking about Peter, you know, not having a camera person. I opened up box 2, and I didn't have anything on the top, so I took all the coins out. I said, okay, I'm going to take these out and flip them over the top because they're the double-decker boxes. So I took them out, flipped them all over. I get the camera, and I go, well, before I did it, I moved them all, and then I looked down in the box, and I didn't do it with the camera, and I freaked out. There's a bucketless half in the second box. I mean, it would be, first off, it's a coin I've never found metal detecting. That's how big of a bucketless $50 it is. So I yelled at Denise, and she kept going, what? She's in the background going, whoa, what a busy. I go, I need you here to be a camera person. And I'm like, it's just great on the video. And she finally comes over, and she's like, well, that looks old. I go, because it is old. So she was my camera person for my bucket lister $50.
Nice.
Mr. Sean Webb from Wyomama. Yes, and she was at Florida Hunt 10. Thank you, Sandy. I got that right. I'm getting better, guys. Yep, there's Just Be Cool that Peter mentioned.
Good morning, Dirt Devil Detecting.
Mr. Park Rat giving us a, it can't be a Park Swifty raid or Park Rat raid, Swifty Rat raid, because it was Park and Mr. Randy this morning.
Yeah, Randy was live. I was up early enough to get to see all that.
Yeah, I'll tell you, for as early as it is, Pat's always bright-eyed and bushy-tailed in the morning.
He is.
Morning, Stu. We got you, Pete, for support. Thank you, Silver Paws.
Well, hopefully I do a nibble of what Charlie does. So, because he is great at the co-hosting. I mean,
I'll tell you, it's like two peas in a pod. But sometimes it's me trying to keep up with Charlie. And he knows every single person's name.
he does. I mean, I am impressed.
And he won't let me give him credit for anything. Sometimes I've got to beg people to get over there. And I get really upset that, I've got 3,000 subs and Charlie's got 700, because every single person that's subscribed to my channel should be subscribed to Charlie's. And he doesn't put out a lot of content, guys, but when he does put out content, Charlie only puts out gold and silver. I mean, because that's all the guy finds in the water. Him and Brad, Alpha Ninja, get out there, and they're just animals on that beach. Yep, there's JP Lawns, Stu.
Yeah, Randy. Charlie is probably having gooey withdrawals.
Yes, because he had to leave town this week without gooeys this morning. There's Chappie's $2 donation. Thank you, Chappie. There's Scott Jarvie. Let's see who else we got scrolling down here. There's Dirt Cloud. You said hi to Fun with Dirt this morning, saying hi to everybody. There's the other Tom, Mr. Tom Riley, TTH, the Treasure Hunter. I like Tom's new channel name. Keep digging. Thank you very much for the $4.99.
Morning,
more sparklers, please. We had fireworks going off all day yesterday during the daytime, and I'm looking over at Denise and I'm like, come dusk tonight, these kids are going to go, Dad, shoot off some more fireworks, and Dad's going to go, well, we shut them all off during the daytime. And the kids are going to go, yeah, but we couldn't see those because it was light out. I'm like, yeah, somebody made a major mistake. Doctor Who, once more unto the breach. Yes, sir. Peter, those were 2 days I always enjoyed working at Disney. Was 4th of July and New Year's Eve. See, the hat looked familiar.
Yeah, see that. Someone said, is that really you?
Mr. William Gallant, Bill's here. He is a member of our club. I've gotten to hunt a few times with Bill, and I've gone on a few ring finders call outs with Mr. Bill. He's a great guy. Bill Brasky, happy 4th of the weekend from Southern, I'm assuming that means Southern California. Or Southern, yeah, SoCal, US. As soon as I learn how to read.
Charlie, someone needs Charlie's channel, so let me post it here.
There you go. Stu says, Silver Paws 22, hit this awesome dude up. Yes, folks, he's been a great supporter from the channel since he has found us. I thank Silver Paws every week. See, there he is. Let's keep this train rolling. There you go. Thank you, Silver Paws. Miss Beth Cornett, good morning. Hey, peeps, she says. Good morning, ma'am.
There, Ohio Fred, I just posted Charlie's channel. So,
Scott, thank you very much. I believe it's somebody's personal coin collection dump. I have never had a box with $4 half-dollars. Okay, I've never had a box, or excuse me, 4 Benjamin half-dollars. I've never had a box with 2 Benjis, maybe 1, but I got 4 Benjis and then on top of it 2 Walkers. Never in my life have I had that much old silver. And the second box, its companion, I was so excited, Peter. I hadn't even had the table cleaned off yet. I went out to the garage and got the second box and started it. And it's crazier than the first box.
wow.
It's so crazy. Some people are not going to believe it, but I filmed my third silver in the first box. I looked down when I was just screaming about the 17 Walker. And I looked down at my camera and the button wasn't on. And I can't tell you how many times when we were doing the 9-acre field with Troy and Dalton, Troy found, and it is extremely rare in Florida, Troy found an 1857 British Hibernia half-cent. We've never seen anything like that in the state of Florida. And Troy finds one, and I get done the whole thing, and my freaking camera button wasn't on.
Don't you hate that?
Oh, my gosh.
Or you don't turn it off. I'll forget to turn my GoPro off, and I'll look, and then, oh, what happened? It's already 40%.
Yeah,
when I download it.
I'll
I
have
have
a
like a half
17
an
minute,
hour video
yeah,
of
I'll have a
me just
17-minute
walking
section of my
around.
phone in just my pants pocket. I mean, I'm glad I'm not the only one that does these things.
Yeah.
But see, I guess for a GoPro, I guess that really wears your battery down fast.
Yeah, and then if it overheats and it shuts down, so uh
Morning, Dirt Devil.
and I had it where you could talk to it and say GoPro turn on, GoPro, but then if it doesn't hear you, then when it says off, then it just keeps going.
That's how I met Charlie. I was at Florida Hunt 6 with Dalton, Troy, Pat. I didn't know Kimberly then, but we had a group of us. Jason Smith and his wife, the Detecting Smiths, they came down. And like Kay said, her and Sandy were there, or Sandy said that. And we had this big group of people that we knew each other through YouTube. I think I had met Pat a few times, but we did take a big group picture that first day over. And then we all started walking off to the trail together, and Troy and Dalton and Pat, and Simon and Andrew from the Weedy Boys. So we had like a group of like 9 of us. Well, they were all ahead of me on this dirt path up on Florida Hunt 6, and I get across this. He's not going to care if I say this. I get across this stocky guy with this GoPro camera on, standing there in the middle of the path, going, "Camera, shut off. Camera, shut off." And I'm like, who's this guy talking to his chest here? And that was how I met Charlie. He was talking to his chest and beating on his chest because his camera wouldn't shut up.
I turned that off. I couldn't take it.
It's never worked.
No, I just don't trust it.
Yes, I was going to thank you, Crazy About a Mercury. Charlie and his wife are on a much needed vacation up to Connecticut. They are up there with Brad, visiting some of Brad's family. They invited them all up to go there, and hopefully, guys, they're going to be getting on some very old ground up there in New England. One of the homes of our founding fathers. So, you know what? I wouldn't care if Charlie didn't come back without a largie or 1,700 silver. I just hope he comes back with a freaking V nickel. Okay, I really want him to get that V nickel.
Is that the unicorn he hasn't had yet?
Yeah, he's and people keep sending him V nickels, and he's like, "People, stop! I've got 30 V nickels here that people have sent me." And then he held one up during that stream because somebody sent him to us. He goes, "I'm tired of getting V nickels," and he threw it over his shoulder, and he has never found that nickel again. He has torn his office apart, and that nickel just doesn't exist. You never know, Chappie. You're going to have to tune in Thursday morning when I put out the video Thursday morning. I'm going to finish editing it today. Yes, no worries, Orlando. Thank you for asking.
Good morning, full half.
Rob, did you turn your wife into a tripod? No, Dr. Who, and she won't let me either. But I do think he's having gooey withdrawals. Miss Denise is making him a batch for when he comes back. Dirt Devil Detecting, good morning. Peter, you need a baseball cap and gooey residue around your mouth, and then you'd be Charlie. Charlie does have a great personality for hosting. He really does.
Mm-hmm.
Questions, thank you. What's Charlie's channel? Yeah, Peter put it up there, Digging It Back with a G on the end of digging.
Yeah, I'll keep posting it.
You talking smack?
No, I was just saying you don't want to be my camera person once.
No, I don't want to be a tripod.
Yeah.
Or a deltoid or any other item. I don't want to be.
See that? See that, Doctor Who? No, she does not want to be a tripod. And we're not going to make. If Pat was here, there'd be a joke going with that right there.
Oh yeah.
Full half. Good morning. I will say this: Pat is fast on the jokes. Let me tell you that.
He is. Good morning, oh Danny boy.
Morning, Danny boy.
Morning, Silver Wrench.
Hey, I want to thank you, wonderful people. We're already up to 49. We had 21 lights before we started, Peter.
I know. And I tried to keep it a secret I was going to be on. Wasn't telling anybody since I was a special guest.
Well, we could have We could have met special in the short bus way too, you know. I mean,
That's right. Like this.
Oh.
Oh, jeez.
Well, Jane Doe, Mom, I'm a non-metal detector, but I'm impressed by the true goodness of the people who I've met because of Peter. That's very kind, and the vast majority of the folks in the metal detecting community. There are a few, like the one that I gave him a gentleman's agreement that I wouldn't mention his name on the channel. And then you have people that are just in it for profit. Luckily, those are a very rare creature.
Mm-hmm. Morning, Patty.
Thank you, Bill. Chappie thinks he's calling it. Salutations, Rob, and you treasure hunting addicts. We are absolutely, yeah, guys. I put the poll up this morning. I was trying to think of
chilling and grilling.
Trying to think of something lighthearted I could do for the poll this morning. So, if your significant other did not have an issue with it, would you be metal detecting more often? I was going to put a lot more often, but I ran out of. They would only give me 100 characters.
Yeah.
But the answer is still 69% yes, and I am part of that 69%. Stu is over across the pond and says it's like 62 over there. It's cold in the UK today. I lived in the UK. I lived in the UK for 4 months. I was in Brighton. Now, for you folks that don't know it, Brighton is on the southern coast across the English Channel from France. And I was there. I got there January 10th, and I was there till April. And do you know what I did every day? I froze my freaking ass off. That's what I did there every day. I stayed in a 1700s home that the beams of the house were made from the beams of sailing ships from the 1700s. One doorway you had to walk under because it was only like 5'4" to go through the doorway because people were shorter 300 years ago. And then if you hit your head, she had a change jar for the swearing. And it had no central heat. And the second or third morning, and she had 15 blankets. I had blankets on the bed that tall. And I woke up the second morning there, and it was so cold, there was ice on the inside of the window stuck to it.
Constant draft.
I froze. I just thank you, Silver Paws. I did not bring clothes prepared for Southern England. Man, it was cold over there. Shannon says, I wish we could find Benjis in this part of the country. Shannon, trust me, those 4 Benjis that are in that one box last week were more than I'd found all year. Fool Half says it's never too late to start detecting, Jane Doe.
That's true. My mother was I forget, she'll maybe chatted, but she never learned to swim, and she learned to swim later in life. So you can do things later in life. Man, it is pouring rain outside of my house right now. I can hear it. Yeah, we hadn't had rain for so long, and now we're finally getting some. So,
you know, I think how far are you from Shane? Blind Shane?
Probably 45 minutes an hour.
Not too bad, because he's been saying the same thing, that they need rain really bad.
Oh, it was so dry. I mean, my grass was more like straw, freshly cut.
That's funny, Doctor Who. I see people talk to themselves all the time, and then they have those little earbuds in, which I've never tried. So it takes me a while to figure out that they're actually talking to somebody, and it's just this little teeny thing in their ear. Good morning, Miss Patty Disharoon. On my phone, and it keeps messing up. No worries.
Oh, the phone's terrible.
Scott, I think that nickel did have bad juju, buddy. You're right, Scott. There we go, guys. 717 Mr. Orlando is at 872 subs. Come on, guys. He only needs 28 to 900. Let's see if we can get Mr. Orlando over there. Plus, he's got a really cool sticker.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, New England's got old land, Chappie. Um, Also, I would like to thank everybody because 2 days ago I crossed over 3,000 subs. So thank you, every single. I know, thank you, buddy.
Big thumbs up on that.
Peter, when I look back at my first videos, and if I can tell you new folks anything from 6 years ago, I didn't have a smartphone. I still had a flip phone 6 years ago because I am not Mr. Technology. But Denise, for my birthday or Christmas, did get me a nice iPad, one of the full size ones. So I didn't have a pinpointer because I hadn't got one of them yet. So I would put my heavy backpack on with the iPad, and I actually carried a hatchet in it too, because if I was in some remote park in the woods somewhere and I couldn't get to a coin, I just freaking chopped through it, buddy. I did. I got to admit that I carried a hatchet in my backpack. But anyway, if I found a zinc penny, I'd have to kneel down, take the backpack off, zip it open, get the iPad out, film my little segment, and then when I had all these clips, I had no idea how to download an iPad. So I had to go on YouTube
Morning,
and say,
Chris.
how do you pull videos out of an iPad? And then they have like this secret compartment that you have to put like a pin in, and it opens up a little door, and then you can connect your connection to it. And I look
That's
back at my
cool.
first videos, and I'm sitting there, I'm at a picnic table in the park, and I'm like, all right, folks, here's all the dates of my zincs. Oh, look at this different kind of pool tab. Oh, I got this stick here today. And I'm like, how the hell did I ever get to 100 subs?
You need to do a throwback video where you bring one back and do like a now and then.
I should. That's a
Yeah.
great idea.
Yeah. Where
And you
I
know what's funny?
was.
I had a couple big channels. Now, when I say big, I don't mean 10 and 100,000, but I had channels that were in the low thousands when I first started out that really supported me and came back. One of those is Nathan from Dog is My Co-Pirate. Man, that guy was a big supporter in the very beginning when I had maybe 10, 20 subs. And Jim from MD Melbourne. And I think Jim found my channel because we were both using MindLab 705s. And that's how Gold found my channel. There was like 10 guys 6 years ago before the Notch came out that were all using the Xterra 705, which is really, that's why I'm really surprised that MindLab has brought the name Xterra back for the Xterra Pro, because that was my first machine. They had, first it was the 30, 50, and 70, and then when they upgraded them, they made them the 305, the 505, and the 705.
Yeah, Digging with Deej, I think, was the first person that gave me a shout out.
Wow, that's awesome. Deej has been a long time subscriber too. And I to this day, 6 years later, I still have to apologize every time I mention Deej's name, because she was in one of my, I was on a stream or something with us, and I said, sir, it's good to see you. And I hadn't watched any of her videos yet, so I didn't know she was a young lady. And man, did she set me straight, boy, let me tell you. Pat says, oh, I got jokes. Yes, sir.
Good morning, Mally Man.
Mr. Mally Man 24. See, and I never knew that meant M.A. Lyman either. I've been calling him Mally Man for years, Peter. Chappie says, I have my own tripod. Oh, we're not even going near that one either. Morning, Dan. Because there's a great joke that goes with that one.
Pat's dying in the background trying. He's telling jokes to nobody.
The Outdoors says tripod jokes are not YouTube appropriate. Absolutely. I can't say the one I want to say. Mr. Mark Henninger, I'm at a lake about to get in the water. Come on, Gold. Good. We had a gentleman here last week who just goes by his name, and he found my channel through Rob, mainly dirt fishing. And he's a quadriplegic guy, and he made a comment in last week's stream. It's a beautiful day out here. What are all you people doing in a freaking chat room when you should be out metal detecting? I can't because I'm handicapped, but all you regular people should be out detecting. And I think I don't want to say the wrong name, but he's been in here several weeks since Rob turned him onto the channel, and that I'm very happy for that. I know the weather's absolutely perfect right now, guys. and yet our chats dropped off very little from the winter when everybody was having these crazy winter storms this year, and people were doing videos on just how much snow was on the ground.
Mm.
Good morning, Silver Wrench.
Yeah, we got 59 thumbs up, so that's
59
good.
thumbs with 60 in here. That's almost matched right up. Thank you, good folks.
Yeah.
We had 113 people last week, Peter, come in and out of the stream.
That's pretty
And
good.
at one time, I looked at the analytics. We peaked at 84 people. Now in the wintertime, we peak around 94 to 102. So if I'm only 10 off that for the middle of summer, when people are out there in parks
Oh yeah.
protecting, I'm pretty damn happy.
Yeah, that's good because summer is your downtime. Everybody's out and about traveling.
Oh, Dirt Devil is up there in Massachusetts. He's getting your rainstorm. He says it's raining like hell up in Massachusetts. And Pat made a joke, but I can't say it. Oh, Silver Paz wants to do a race. We'll get to those soon, sir. I got to do my 2 opening races, and then we'll start on today's, sir. I want to try and get caught up with the chat a little bit. I'm still 8 minutes behind.
I like this slow chat.
I did it today for you, Peter. I normally, with me and Charlie, run 20 seconds. Because that way, but I upped it to 30 this morning to try and take it easy on you. It's fast, isn't it?
It's like you can't even even chat something in. You gotta be like really, and I'm not the best of a typist, so like I got all these typos and stuff, and I'm like, people will know what I'm saying. But it's nice reading it on slow.
Deb Melvin says Brighton is on my bucket list. Deb, I complained about the cold, but I had such a good time. I stayed with a guy. I had a buddy in high school that I hung around with. He had a hot rod too, and we were all kind of us hot rod guys together. He had an AMX. I can't tell you how much that car would be worth today. Their sport version of the AMC Javelin. He had the AMX Javelin. That car would be worth a pretty penny today. They didn't make many of them. But his cousin came to visit from overseas, and we took him over to the other coast to we were all 17, 18. We took him over to the Daytona Beach area, and I'll never forget this. There was 4 of us guys, and he walked into the hotel room, and he turned to his left where the bathroom was, and he goes, "We have our own bathrooms." And I went, "Every freaking hotel room in America has a bathroom." And what I didn't realize is that some of their hotels are still up from the 17 and 1800s, and they were converted. And when I was in Paris, when I stayed a weekend in Paris, you had a little sink in your room that you could brush your teeth with, but the bathrooms and the shower were one bathroom at the end of the hall. So him never been to America before, he didn't realize we don't have 300-year-old hotel rooms. We were here that most every hotel is pretty new, and each has its own room. So my buddy was joking with me. He goes, "Yeah, like we have ice cubes over here and digital phones," and he was busting his chops, and we had a really good time. So he invited me to go to England and live with him. He had just gotten divorced. So I went over and we stayed at his flat, not his apartment, his flat. And
morning,
they
John.
They only had 4 channels. This was 83, Peter. They only had 4 channels over there. They had BBC 1, 2, and 3 and Sky Network. But it was hilarious. On Thursday nights, you could put on one of them and they go, "And tonight at 8 p.m., stay tuned for Dynasty." And I'm like, "Dynasty? It's Dynasty." No, it was Dynasty over there.
Mm-hmm.
She encourages me to do stuff to get out of the house. See, I'm getting everybody with great spouses here. Sandy, I thought it was Florida Hunt 9, but I get confused with the numbers, so I wasn't going to correct you. But yes, 10's coming up this year. I know he's already put out a Florida Hunt 10 page. I don't know where it's going to be at yet this year, if it's going to be in Florida. I'm not sure how we have a Florida Hunt 10 if it's going to go to Tennessee. Fox in the ground, good morning. I can't stand those earbuds, he says. There you go. Happy Chappie's getting together with a fellow YouTuber tomorrow and hitting my LCS. I'm excited. Congratulations. Why a mama's in a big drought. Sean, only 19% of Florida is in the drought, but the Tampa Bay area is number one for that 19%. So, and you're on the southern end of that, Sean. Thank you, Mercury. Please check out Rachel's adventures. She does metal detecting, coin roll hunting. She's at 989 and needs 11 more to 1K. There you go, folks. Mr. Mike's putting out a blurb for Rachel. Sean says happy 4th of July to everybody.
That's around the corner.
Same with me, Diana. I love technology too, but if it doesn't work, it's the most frustrating thing in the world. Denise bought I don't know if you remember, Peter, but we had a lot of major
work. Yeah.
We ripped out a couple walls and ripped out a closet and moved things around and had to have new beams put in and everything. Well, obviously if Denise is making a new space for the refrigerator, then obviously you have to get a new refrigerator. There's nothing wrong with the old one, but you got to get a new. If you're updating the house, you got to get a new refrigerator. So she bought this refrigerator that's smarter than I am, and for like the last several months during construction, we didn't have the water lines hooked up because I didn't want to mess with this. And then my buddy Steve, that is a jack of all trades for everything, he came over and we hooked up the water line, and we went to go use it, and nothing happened. No ice, no water, no nothing. So Denise, we read through the manual, and we pushed a bunch of buttons on the inside wall, digital buttons, and eventually we got the water working. Okay, so we're like, okay, we got the filtered water working, and then Denise played with some more things and read some more things, and we got the ice cubes working. So I was a happy guy, but the ice machine wouldn't work. It just, I had to keep making ice by hand. So we read that manual section several times, and we pushed buttons all over the place. And finally, Denise said, screw it. And she called the 800 number up in the Samsung manual and said, I don't have ice cubes. And the guy was very nice on the phone, and he walked her right through all the digital settings she had to do until she got the right combo of the digital settings, and the light came on for ice cubes tray. And he says, give it 12 hours. And later that night, we were sitting here and we finally heard her first ice cubes drop into the ice cube tray.
I thought you were going to tell me that the refrigerator emailed you and told you to hook the water line up.
I don't want a refrigerator that talks to you. I really don't.
No, I don't either. I'm in IT, so I can't stand all that stuff. We got a washer and dryer, and the dryer can email you and tell you that the clothes are ready.
That is unreal.
Yeah, I'm like, why?
Denise bought. Have you seen the commercial for the new the kitty litter tube thing that looks like
Oh yeah, I saw that. Like,
she just got one. She just got one. Denise did. So I'll get a text and she'll like, hey, could you check to see if the cat was in there? And I go, why? She goes, oh, I just got an alert on my phone. I mean, why? We got cat litters now that are online. Okay, I mean.
So can the cat stay in there and then like walk around like a hamster wheel?
No, don't do that. It does the hamster wheel thing, but it senses when the cat takes the pressure off the pad. Okay. And then I'll be in the living room and I'll hear this little whirring noise, and you look in there and the whole inner part is doing that. Yeah. And then it dumps the stuff below the tray so you don't smell it, and it's self-cleaning. But yeah, every time they go in there, she gets an alert. And I'm like, she was like, I was going to put a camera in that room. I go, no, I don't need to have you have an alert every time I go to the bathroom. Okay, we just don't need to do that.
Litter cam with an alert.
Expressions. Oh, and then she says to me the other day, what were you doing in my father's room for so long? What do you mean? I was going in there and checking out. I sold a DVD on eBay, so I was in there. My supply shelf was in my father-in-law's room, so I had to go in there and get a DVD to mail.
Morning, Swifty.
And she's like, "Oh, because the under the bed camera saw your feet standing there for a while." And I'm like, "I'm not liking this camera stuff. I'm not."
The bed camera. Wait for Pat's response to that.
Well, we had. She put it in because and the reason I can be loud today is her dad's not here. He's in a rehab facility this week because he fell he
Okay.
fell he fell twice last week. Okay,
Yes.
and I was
Gotcha.
sitting here. I was sitting here doing that stream on my giveaway after Bill's stream, Papa Rouse, and we had like 84 people on a Tuesday night at 11:30 p.m. And then when it got done, I just stayed on the computer and I was watching some videos or leaving some feedback, and I heard a noise, and it wasn't a loud noise, and I guess he just didn't feel like he needed to bother us and yell out. So I just heard like some wood scraping, and he was trying to grab stuff off his dresser and like throw it to get my attention, I guess. And I knocked and I went in there and found him on the floor. And luckily he just kind of slid off his electrical chair that lifts him off. I guess he bent over forward and he fell and he didn't really hurt himself. So,
Yeah.
I'm waking Denise up at 2 o'clock in the morning and she's helping me lift him back up. And then she went and set the alarm for 5 and she checked on him and he said, I really don't feel good. The pain's catching up to me now 3 hours later. So there at 5:30 in the morning, we had a rescue squad here in the neighborhood with all the neighbors wanting to know what's going on. So apparently now they, when he's that age, they take you right when they check you out at the hospital, he stays 2 or 3 days. They require him right to go to rehab. So
Yeah.
then Denise has got to set up all the rehab. So that's where Mike's at right now. He's at rehab for 3 weeks so he can get stronger and get his and I got to admit they're doing some really good physical therapy with him. So that's why she got the camera in case he goes down. She can call me.
No, that makes
And
sense. Yeah.
yeah, I still don't like to see the feet part. So all right, Expression
Morning,
says I carry.
BC. Treasure trails.
Hey Jason. Expression says I carry 380 with me when I'm hunting on my farmland. Um, that makes sense. I know the guys at Green Mountain Metal Detecting when they're out there in the woods of Vermont. Both of those guys are armed. When they did most of the DeGraw series or DeGraw series, they were armed. He gets a lot of questions on that.
So we have some bears in PA. So you gotta, if you're out I usually don't go by myself in the woods just because I don't want to be a bear meal or anything.
Well, we have some black bears here. We actually have an area about 25 miles north of us that starts to get a little rural on US 19, which is our main north and south highway. And for 10 miles, they have bear signs posted every mile. So if you're playing car bingo, that's the road to get your bear sign bingo tab on. Everybody's saying good morning and happy 4th of July. Nope, past and present, you are not weird carrying. I don't carry on my person, but I make sure that I am armed at all time. And Peter, it's going to be a very interesting week. We're not going to get talking to politics here. We're not going to go into how much I like or do not like our governor, but him and the legislature just changed the law starting 2 days ago yesterday, starting on 7/1. You no longer need to go to a training class and get certified on gun safety and gun handling to get your concealed carry permit because they did away with concealed carry permits yesterday. So any Yahoo with a gun in the state of Florida now can strap one on and carry it concealed with zero training at all in the state of Florida. And I'm amazed even in 24 hours, we haven't had an incident yet.
Well, it has to be concealed. It has to be concealed. It can't be out in the open, right?
Yeah, it's not like I think Texas you can open carry. Some of the states
Yeah.
you can open
Texas,
carry.
you can have it strapped right to you walking around.
Now I will tell you this. Do you know what those auditor channels are? It's the people that go into government buildings with a camera and say they're reporters, and they try and get the police to force them out or grab them or arrest them when they're in a public place with a camera, and then they make a video of it, and then if the cops are really stupid and just don't let him do what he's doing and they grab him or detain him, they sue the police departments and they make money off of it. And as a former police officer, it really pisses me off. But also as a former police officer, these guys should be getting training that these auditor guys are out there, and all they're out there for is not to do investigative journalism, not to check out the post office building or the DEA building that's around the corner. They're there just to get views on YouTube. And there's a lot of people that support those channels. Well, we have this weird law in the state of Florida that says if you're on your way to go hunting or on your way to go fishing to your fishing spot, you can open carry like on your hip because you've got fishing gear and everything else, so you need a place to put your weapon so you can have your weapon on you. So we have a guy that has one of these channels, and he went to Clearwater Beach with one fishing rod and one lure in one hand, and he had an AR-15 strapped to him. And let me tell you something.
Jeez.
Yeah. And he walked the entire length of Clearwater Beach to say he was going to go to the pier to go fishing because he could get away with that because he had a fishing rod. Okay. So meanwhile, you've got all these tourists sitting on the beach with this Yahoo walking down with an AR-15 strapped around his shoulder. Okay.
Yeah.
And obviously 911 went lit up and he had 4 Clearwater police come out there. And all he did was just berate the Clearwater police for detaining him and stopping him. And, and then they wait till a supervisor gets there and they unarmed him, took the gun away. He's filming the whole thing, calling him everything, but trash. Well, he called him trash too. And then, eventually they checked with their supervisors. They handed him back his unloaded weapon and they went on his way. And the guy went down the beach with all these tourists just looking at them going, what the hell's going on in Florida? And I can't tell you how many videos this guy's made around fishing trips across the state of Florida. He parks as far away as he can, and then he walks through the most touristed areas he can, and then he goes out there and he throws like 3 lures to say that he fished, and then he brings it in, and then he does the walk back through the most populated areas he can, and he dares him to call the police on him. I'm all for everybody's civil rights. Yeah, they're strictly doing it for YouTube views.
Yeah, that's not right.
Yes, there are, Miss Mercury. There's quasi-mobile Dairyland Digger. He's in a wheelchair and he digs too. I'm so far behind the chat. Good morning, Javier. I'm at the flea market.
Yeah, it's hard.
Good to see everybody.
Coming up. We're on the 10 o'clock.
Orlando 717. Cynthia is a big supporter of a lot of channels. I missed what Full Half said, that everybody's saying sorry to hear that. Yeah, he said they don't let us protect ourselves. Yeah, New York's a very, very strict. I don't know where he's at.
Morning, Scott.
Morning, Scott.
I don't think I saw him.
Darren Gray. Thank you, Chappie. Rob is always happy. Martin, I tried. I have a lot of reasons not to be happy this morning, but I also have a lot of reasons to be very thankful this morning. So we're just gonna go on the thankful side. I wasn't up until 5 a.m. this morning, folks, because I wanted to be okay.
Yeah, no, it doesn't sound like it.
Yeah, see, pause is here, but I'm doing my shipping listening. Hey, I can't tell you how many streams I watch while I'm addressing envelopes and getting my stuff and figured out. Great. Ms. Mercury says I do voice texting with this thing. It puts whatever it wants to say, regardless of what I say. Yeah, that's the thing when you use voice. Oh, did Randy say he's popping out? I would be texting this morning, but we're heading to my brother's house soon, hopefully for a 4th of July party. Cool for you, Randy.
A lot of parties will be happening.
Yeah, that's why we're knocking off a few minutes today. We've got about a dozen people coming over for our annual kick off the summer party here, and I've got to make the burgers and get the grill, take the cover off the grill, make sure we have propane. Nothing better than having 12 people over, and 10 minutes after you turn the grill on, you hear that, and you're out of gas on a holiday.
Yeah, we had a burn ban, so we didn't even know if we were going to have fireworks. So
we have one community here that's doing them tonight instead of the 4th. John Southern Exposure, welcome. Sorry, I missed you for 10 minutes here. I'm behind. Oh, used to come up and hunt, but the hassle now coming over the border isn't worth it. Ah. I remember when you could go to Canada from the U.S. and just show your driver's license. They just wave you through.
BC Treasure Trail says that Charlie sure looks a lot like Peter today.
He does. He really does. He grew hair and everything. Yeah, Doctor Who. When I was 21.
Good morning, Mandy.
Morning, Mandy. I blew off my last semester of college and I hiked across Europe. I got to France. I got to Paris for a few days. I stayed with a guy that I met in Cologne, Germany. I was in Cologne, Germany for about a week. I stayed at some of the youth hostels, took trains and backpacked across Europe. Cleanest place I've ever been to in the world is Germany. Absolutely beautiful country. About 70% of the people spoke English. So when I was that ignorant looking American standing there on a street corner with a map, with my cowboy hat and cowboy boots on and backpack, people just walk over and sprechen Sie Deutsch? And I go, nope. Oh, that's okay. We speak English. Where do you need to go? Super nice people. And I've been to Canada twice. And for all our Canadians here, our Canuck friends, Canada is one of the most beautiful places I've ever been to too. And everybody's been super nice up there.
Yeah, we're heading to the falls in 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, you were saying that. Now, I don't know how it
excited.
is because I haven't been to the falls in 20 years. But when we went to the Canadian side, it was around lunchtime, so we stopped at a Pizza Hut right there in the falls, tourist area on the Canadian side. And what amazed me, it was the same price as like a local pizza here. It wasn't like jacked up prices because it was a big tourist area. Now, like I said, that was 20 years ago. But we did. Me and a buddy took a 2-week trip through Canada, and we went up to Toronto. We did the Needle up there in Toronto, and went to the falls, and we stayed at some bed and breakfasts up there. Just absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, I want to try the poutine. Did you ever have that?
No.
So that is French fries, and then you put cheese curds, and then you have a brown fried gravy that goes over it. And it if you never had it, it is pretty good. So supposedly Canadian poutine is the best that you can get. So
that's a weird name, buddy.
It is. My father said that yesterday when we had our picnics. So
you better pronounce that word correctly.
It is so something real.
Now, we were up in Buffalo. My sister married a guy from Buffalo, and we went up there. They did the 2 services. They did one in Buffalo and one in Florida for all people that couldn't come down from Buffalo. So my ex-brother-in-law took us to a little local place for beef on wick. And I think in Buffalo we got fries with the brown gravy on them. But
yeah,
the beef on wick I really enjoyed that. That was good.
Yeah, I like to eat all that stuff that's, if I go to a place and I'm going to eat and they say that this is what they're known for, that's what I'm getting. Because, yeah, I'll
try the local cuisine anywhere. I'd like to get to New Orleans and try some New Orleans gumbo. Obviously being from Maryland, I'm a blue crab steamed with Old Bay seasoning. That's the way I was raised, and that's the only way they could be
There you go. Right.
Oh, you're a slob. You're a slob.
Ocean City, MD. There we go.
See, I appreciate you getting ready and doing that today.
I had this just for you today.
Thank you, sir. That's why I got my Randy mug this morning.
That's right.
So, good morning, Out West Metal Detecting Greg. Sorry I didn't say hi. I'm way behind the chat here, sir. I'm going to scroll through these real quick.
Morning, Jim.
Try and get caught up, and then we'll start a couple of races. There you go, Doctor Who. A metal detecting parody video would be good with songs and everything. You could do like a who's the parody guy? Weird Al Yankovic. Yeah, you could do a Weird Al parody video. Oh wow, Sean says we have 48 ponds in our area, and they're extremely low, and the bass are being wiped out by the big birds and the gators. Yeah, you were saying you have bears your way, Peter. We don't have to really worry about them here, but I get so many people in this chat go, is there really as many alligators in Florida as people say they are? Yes. Okay, that's all I have to say. If there's a body of water in the state of Florida bigger than a bathtub, assume that there's an alligator in it because there probably is. That video of that guy wrestling his little teeny dog out of that gator's mouth with the cigar still in his mouth, and he never loses his cigar while he wrestles the alligator and saves his dog. Is that is not a rare Florida example. That's
Normal.
there's more little teeny dogs lost at the edge of lakes that people walking around in here than Florida would let you know.
So crazy about a Mercury says a cooler full of blue crabs. That'd be nice.
Peter, do you want to know when I was talking to Swifty about blue crabs, because he's living there just south of the Chesapeake, so he's got areas that he can catch.
Yes.
I wanted, because they were saying they got enough to do a cookout.
Mm-hmm.
So I went online, and if you ordered from a Maryland seafood house to have it shipped to Florida for a bushel of crabs, do you know what they wanted?
Your arm and your leg.
Yes. I was going to tell you to take an insane, asinine guess, and you wouldn't have probably come close. It was $375 for them to ship you a bushel of crabs. When I was a little kid 50 years ago, my dad got a whole bushel for like under $50. I mean, I grew up with crabs.
Now, my wife, she makes really good crab cakes. So when we go now, I never get crab cakes because her crab cakes are so good that it's like I get them at home.
Yeah, see, I'm just to the part where people are talking about the fridge 10 minutes ago. I went
scroll down. I'll do like Charlie. Scroll down, Rob.
Danny Boy says he can't get out now because it's pouring after he changed his coils. Oh, and while I'm scrolling down here, a lot of people in last Sunday's stream were asking about the car before I went out and showed the Mercedes. A couple people said they guessed the Mercedes, but yes, guessing it on the Sunday after the giveaway is over doesn't count for you winning the giveaway. There was nobody said Mercedes in the giveaway, and only one person, I had to double check, I think it's John Ironman, but only one person, he said a Buick station wagon. He was the only person that came up with wagon. So nobody came close to the Mercedes. My
father had a Crown Vic Mercury station wagon with the wood, and he had
the old family truckster with the wood paneling.
Yep, he had it forever, and then he got a deer decided to ruin it, but he loved that thing. I mean, he had over 200,000 miles on it and took it everywhere. Like every time they go on a trip, I'd be afraid that they weren't going to make it back because like
it had so many miles and it just kept going.
I mean, it was beautiful, and it was garage kept, and he would put keep it all patched together, and he got it serviced all the time, so it just kept running. But he would take it. We were talking about this yesterday. He would take it, and when he took it up to Canada, like people wanted pictures with him and the vehicle. He stopped at this one place, and all these bikers came out and they surrounded the vehicle and they wanted to line the motorcycles up. And I said, they were the Hell Angels, So, but yeah.
Yeah, we grew up with a Chevy station wagon or Pontiac station wagon, and that was the family vehicle that we went to Ocean City every summer. Every summer we did 2 weeks at Ocean City from Baltimore. That was our big getaway. And then I think once or twice, my parents took us up to what's the name of the island? Begins with an A, where they do the horse crossings, the pony crossings.
Assateague.
Yeah. We went up and saw the pony crossings. Real quick before I scroll down to get caught up, Tom Kingery says tentative date for FH10 is February 23rd, 25, possibly back at Camp Freedom in Melrose. Wow. Okay, so we're going to go back to Camp Freedom. Silver Paw says, my girlfriend tells me all the time she hates being on camera. Denise doesn't want to be on camera either. Good morning, BNS Odyssey. Sorry I didn't get around to you. There's Jason there saying hello. They said they're driving BN. Oh man, I got to get caught up here. I'm so happy everybody knows everybody in here can say hi to each other.
Yeah, that's always
Chris
nice.
Roberts is saying good morning.
The inner chat. So
It is the inner chat.
that you can just, if you miss something, it's okay.
Past and present says was in Western New York last week, saw a business truck named Kangaroo Roofing, and he was laughing. Hey, I was coming back through the Deep South, and they have convenience stores called Come and Go. And I'm not even going to make any jokes to that, but I can't believe somebody named an entire chain of convenience stores Come and Go. And they spelled it K-U-M. I just don't know why.
No way.
I swear to God, I took a picture of it and put it in my computer.
Were you standing in front of it waving?
I had just passed it coming off a mountain road doing 70, and I got to one of those towns where it goes 70, 50, 35, and like 30 feet.
Yeah,
I was still doing 70 and laughing about the convenience store when the red and blue showed up in my rearview mirror, okay? And I can't remember if I was in Alabama or, I mean, I was in just one of them deep southern states, and it was like 1 in the morning, and I was still driving, and this deputy comes up to my car real easy, and you know, like I said, since I'm armed and I'm an ex-cop, you always tell the officer, you know, I'm signal 0, which is police talk for armed. And I told the guy, I said, I'm foreign police, I'm signal 0. And the guy says, where's your weapon? I said, it's in my door panel. And he's like, all right, no worries. And I said, really? No problem. The guy goes, it's Alabama. Everybody in the state's armed. And he goes, he says, I'm out here alone covering 43 miles by myself, and I have 5 weapons with me in my vehiip.
I was going to guess 6. I was going to guess 6.
He said 5. He had his hip gun on. He had an ankle gun on. He had an extra backup in his driver's door panel. And in case shit went really bad, he had another weapon in the passenger door panel. And then he had his AR-15 strapped in the center console. He's like, I'm the only guy out here. My next backup's 40 minutes away. He says, I got to be ready. And I'm like,
yeah, you got to.
And we sat there and bullshit for like 20 minutes. And I said, he's like, nah, I'm not writing you. Just slow down. See you later. Have a good night. And nicest guy in the world. But
we got 73 likes. So we're doing
wow, good. Guys. Charlie's not even here to tell people to get going on that. Thank you folks very much.
We need to get 100, guys. Smash that thing.
Sean saying smash that like button. Martin Smith says, Rob, no GUIs for me. See what it did to Charlie? He looks so different.
Rob and Peter Button.
Miss Mercury says they open carry. Oh, Michigan's open carry. I didn't know that. Wow, Louisiana's open carry, but they're trying to do away with CCP as we speak.
Dirt Devil Detectin says that his daughter gave him a sweatshirt from the Come and Go. There you go, Rob. You can get a T-shirt. You could get a T-shirt and wear it when you're out, or a sweatshirt while you're out at the beach.
Let me tell you something. I was metal detecting in about waist deep water last summer, and I had on Park Rat Pat's T-shirt, and on the back of it says you're only 1 hole away from a really good day. And I passed these 4 teenage girls, and they looked at my back of my shirt, and they took it the other way, and they all started giggling and laughing. And I'm like, yeah, I'm glad I'm entertainment for a bunch of teenage girls here, okay? Now, Shannon Dalton just says in Missouri you can carry any way you want. Shannon, I don't know if that changed, but when I took my mom, when my mom got real sick before she passed away, each of us kids took turns taking care of her. And I was driving my mom to Missouri to stay with my sister for her 4-month turn. And on the way back, I was going down I-70, which I didn't realize was a major drug corridor across America. And this cop profiled me because I had all my mom's oxygen tanks, those big green bottles. I had like 6 of them in the back of the car. So the back of my car was dragging ass. And here I was, 35-year-old guy, working age, that in the middle of a weekday is driving down the middle of the drug corridor with his car like this. So yeah, I got pulled over. I got profiled. He said that I weaved out of my lane, and I was like, yeah, bullshit. That was a profile stop. But anyway, I was being honest, and I said, I'm armed. And he said, you can't be armed in the state of Missouri. You're not allowed to have anything on your person or in your vehicle. So he confiscated my weapon, unloaded it, called for backup, and then when the backup got there and stood with me, he went back to his car and he ran the serial number. He checked my ID. He verified I was an ex-police officer in Florida, and then he came back. And then they searched the car and they made me take all the luggage and all the oxygen bottles and the oxygen machine out and on the side of the road. And then after all that, he said, I'll tell you what, technically you're committing a felony, but you've been cooperative. You're an ex-cop. I'm going to take your unloaded weapon and I'm going to bury it inside your suitcase in the trunk. And he unzipped the suitcase, buried the weapon in there, and then put the bullets in next to it. And then they drove away. And I had to reload that entire car. They didn't give a shit. I had to load it all back up and they just drove away. But I was happy not to be in jail. So, Shannon, if you can carry Missouri now, that's different than it was 20 years ago, sir.
Yeah, it doesn't sound fun. Yeah, I'm thinking when we go across the border, which will be worse, going to Canada or coming back from Canada. So
Marty, we have a bait and tackle store here called the Armed Fisherman here in Florida. I'll take a picture of that for the stream. Yeah, Robert. When I was in high school, I had a little 20 gauge shotgun in my rear view, hanging in the gun rack in the back of my truck in high school. Nobody cared about that. A lot of guys in high school had shotguns in their gun rack in high school.
yeah, I remember people
Yeah,
having
nobody
those.
nobody cared.
You don't see that in it's like CB radios. You don't see that either.
Man, I can't remember, Peter, last time I saw a vehicle with a CB radio antenna.
I had a Monte Carlo SS because
Oh man, nice car.
I had all these big vehicles because my parents were afraid that if I was in an accident, if it was a boat, I wouldn't get hurt. And I finally convinced them. So the Monte Carlo SS is, semi, big vehicle. But it also is, and I had a CB radio in there, and I would travel to Harrisburg because I was living there. And it was like Smokey and the Bandit every weekend going back to live and on the CB radio, and that was so much fun.
Our first trip we took a little bit further west. Somehow we made some detour coming to Florida, and we got to a place you could buy Coors beer because back in the 70s and 80s they didn't sell Coors beer east of certain continental. I don't know, but anyway, I remember coming back with a couple of cases of Coors beer. My father bought some as a teenager when I was a teenager, and came back. He had no problem selling that stuff because not that Coors beer is any better than maybe another light beer, but everybody wanted it because you couldn't buy it.
Yeah.
I mean, as soon as it became nationwide, after its peak, novelty, it just went back to being like every other beer at a certain sales level. But when you couldn't buy it, everybody was doing that Smokey and the Bandit thing and bringing the beer back. Absolutely.
That's the way. There's a big brewery, Yuengling, and that was only in PA. You could only get it in PA. So people in Maryland, they were always wanting to get it.
That's actually a big beer here in Florida. That's kind of like I don't know if you want to call it like a special brewery beer or whatever, but Yuengling is very popular, especially down in inner city Tampa, down around Ybor City, which is our Cuban and Spanish culture area. Yuengling is a very popular beer down here.
Yeah, they started that brewery because there was caves close, and that's how they would make the lager in the caves for the constant temperature. So
Mercury says, "Oh yeah, I love some cheese curd." Yep, that's how far I'm behind. And Weigel says,
"Oh, we're still on cheese curds."
I know poutine. Weigel says poutine is yummy. I'm like, not only you have to be careful saying that, you got to be careful spelling that.
All right, Looter 8 is in the house.
Morning, Looter 8. Paul says it's the most delicious heart attack in a bowl. Miss Mercury says her birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday.
Yes,
Miss
happy
Diana.
birthday.
Randy's firing up his smoker. Mr. Randy and his smoker. Oh, we have some. John says they have blue crabs there in South Louisiana. Yes, but it's how you fix them, sir. When somebody invited us for crabs here in Florida after we moved to Florida in the 70s, and my father went over there and they were boiling them in beer, it took everything he had just not to turn around and walk out of these people's house right then and there. He thought that was total desecration, Peter.
Mm-hmm.
Scott McClory, don't ask me why, sir. They just do it. We had a lady in our subdivision that walked her little dog by the affluent pond that they used to put the wastewater from the city sewer system. So I don't know if she didn't think that there would be anything living in there, but some gator came out and snatched her little poodle, and that was the end of that poodle.
So Rob, do you have those iguana things that are all over? Or
Oh,
is that
the little chameleons. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zeus thinks he's the great white hunter, and he's out on the pool patio. There, speaking of the great white hunter, there he is right there. He's going to go out to his catio. See if he jumps over to the catio. He's thinking about it. And there we go, out to the catio. Yeah, they have their own house outside.
Yeah, that's neat.
But yeah, if we have him out on the pool patio and a lizard stupid enough to come inside the pool patio, he is so proud when he brings a lizard in the house. But yeah, they're all over here.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not like Key West where you got the 2-foot iguanas. We just got the the
little
here,
ones, but still, it's very rare we see a lizard. PA.
Yeah, Scott, we're not super rich. I've been catching so much grief because I bought a Mercedes. I bought a 15-year-old Mercedes. Oh, Sean, that's bad. I get my crab at home too every day, and I just celebrated 52 years with them. I'm not even touching that one. That would be a 76 AMC Hornet wagon. Wow, wish I still had it. I bought a 67 Mustang from a buddy in high school for $1,100, and it was pea soup green. But it had the little 289 V8 with the little automatic on the floor between the bucket seats, and it had the little recesses in the hood for the turn signals. And I think I drove that around for about 2 years, and I sold it for $900. So I thought I was doing really good, getting almost what I paid for it after 2 years. That's somewhere between $30,000 and $60,000 car today. Oh, a 78 CJ7, 3 on the tree and a straight 6. My buddy's dad had a truck with 3 on the tree. You put a teenager in a Ford F100 pickup with a 3 on the tree, they would just think that would be an automatic. They'd have no clue.
Mm-mm.
I've watched videos where people have taken teenagers and put them in a room with a rotary phone, and they don't know how to operate it. Oh, look at Scott McClory being Mr. Shell Answer Man. The owners are Kumar and Gotesh. Hence Come and Go. Are you serious? I'm going to look that up, Scott. There's Come and Go gas stations all over Wyoming.
Kimberly's in the house.
Good morning, Miss Kimberly, the Sunshine State Detectorist. Kimberly, within the next 2 weeks, I'll be posting on Monday Digs the video down at the 1901 Permission Corner lot. That was just an absolutely phenomenal day. And if Miss Kimberly was not familiar with the neighborhood, I would have never known that, because in the 1970s, they built an entire brick facade over the 1901 house. So it looks like a modern 1970s ranch house. And it's only till you get like through the carport, and the back of the carport, they didn't put bricks there that you can see the old siding from the 1901 house. I would have never known if Kimberly didn't have a permission next door, and the neighbor told her, that modern house right there, it's actually a 1901. And Kimberly went and door knocked it, and we got it. And oh man, did this big corner lot turn into a gold mine. Oh my gosh, it was just find after find after find.
Yeah, there's a lot of houses that I find on maps, and then you drive by and you'd never know, because they cover everything up.
Yeah,
it looks like it's brand new.
I was in my little town where I live, my house just north of here, and I was driving around looking for permissions, and I saw this house, and it looked modern. It was painted, and what the guy did on the crawl space underneath, that you can tell in Florida, if you get a house that's got the 3 or 4 blocks and it's got a crawl space, it's usually 1930s and earlier. Well, the guy had blocked that in, and so you couldn't see it, but he'd left like one little hole every 20 feet for circulation under there. So I thought, okay, I'll just for S&G, I'll just type it into the phone, the address in the phone. And I went like a mile away and pulled off the side of the road where I had a break and typed it in. And the phone comes back 1916. Oh my God, I flipped that car around. A 1916 house in the little subdivision I am, or the little city I'm in, there's maybe less than 20 houses before 1920 left. And I knocked on the guy's door. I didn't get my first sentence out. And the guy was practically grabbing me, dragging me in the house, saying, I've been waiting years for somebody to knock on my door to ask me to metal detect this yard. I cannot wait to see what you find. Every time it rains, an old bottle pops up in our backyard. And I'm like, I had never had anybody that enthusiastic. And Dalton and I hit it once, and then the second time we brought our old partner Alex. She's since moved away, but and then we get there with Alex, who's a very attractive young lady, and the guy comes out and he says, "Now I've got the open garage there where my Harley is. You and your buddy can use that bathroom. If the young lady needs a bathroom, she can come here in the house." I was like, "Yeah, you know where the pretty girl sits."
Good morning, backyard beekeeper guy.
Good morning, backyard beekeeper.
Good morning, Denise. She came in.
Denise K?
Yep.
Good morning, Denise K. BC Jason says open carry Canada means you better have a beer in your hand.
Yeah.
Past and present says handguns are like potato chips. You just can't have one. Dirt Devil says come and go t-shirt's not quite as good as the I Love Beaver t-shirt from Beaver, Utah. I want to go out to that place that's statistically the middle of the country and get the t-shirt that says I've been to nowhere. I've been in the middle of nowhere, USA.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is what happens, Peter. I scroll down fast to get caught up, and then I miss some of the really good, funny comments. And then, like I say, last night I rewatched the stream on faster speed so I can copy everybody's name down to get the thing ready. And I'm laughing at some of the comments, and I'm like, man, I missed some great comments. Like I don't see her here this morning, but Sherry Lynn Martin was not only here last week, she was in the stream from the very beginning. And during the course of our 2.5 hours, Miss Sherry Lynn Martin put the URL of every single person in the chat up in comments.
Oh, I saw that last week.
She just did phenomenal.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, some people are so quick at that stuff too. I mean, they are just like.
Oh, you wouldn't believe how much work it takes me to pull the channel up, cut and paste, come back, put it on my. Yeah, and she was just Johnny on the spot with those. Okay.
Morning, Paw.
Morning, I am Pat. Is it Paw or Pat Paw?
Oh, Pat Paw. Yeah.
There you go.
Can't read this morning.
That's all right. Good morning, Greenie. Good morning, Honesdale. Mark says, I still have my old CB antenna on my 87 Blazer. That's how everybody knows me. You know, Mark, we do have a few.
Morning moon over Miami.
We do have a few redneck trucks still around here, and some of them I still do see the occasional CB, and I'm sure antenna, and I'm sure they do have them in there.
You know, you ever see one of the long whips anymore?
Very rarely. Very rarely do
Yeah.
you see a long whip. Kimberly says, can't stay long. The wife's birthday's this weekend. Please tell Miss Kathy happy birthday. Kimberly was kind enough to let me stay at her and her wife's place when I went over to the East Coast to hunt over there with her and Pat. And then the 5 of us went out to dinner, Pat and his wife and the 3 of us, and we met at Pat's favorite Italian restaurant. And I got the best lasagna twice there that I've ever had, and the 2 times there that Pat's taken me. And they have garlic knots there. Well, garlic rolls, actually. They're bigger than knots. But we were talking about your Canadian fries earlier. These are definitely heart attack on a bun. They come underwater in butter. They're literally under. Yeah, you pick them up and you got to shake the butter off of them and the garlic butter and wow.
Yep, couldn't work in a place like that.
No, I mean you think I'm fat now? I'd be 400 pounds there. We're talking about 71 Duster with 3 on the tree. There you go. Patty says we're at 80 likes. Uh-oh, Patty, my stream disappeared. Hold on.
82. I got 82.
Where the hell did my stream go? Hey, there I am. Did you go already, hon? To the store.
No, I checked on
Oh, okay. We are at 82 with 62 wonderful people here. Thank you very, very much. Wow, I'm only 4 minutes behind the chat, Peter.
Hey, that's at least you had it on slow-mo.
Mystic says, Rob, I'm happy to find my first big 1800 silver, but feel kind of bad. It was a hidden cache, not a drop. It's all right, Mystic. I don't have an 1800s big silver yet. I only have 2 1800 silver, and they're both Barber dimes. And one I didn't realize when I sent the picture to Dalton. Dalton went, "You were so close," and I was like, "What does he mean by that?" 1891 is seeded. I missed my first seeded by 1 year.
Yeah, I haven't found a nothing barber yet.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know.
I get maybe
scarce in where I'm at or what.
They're not common here. I think I've only got one or two this year, but I did get my first.
When you watch some of this stuff, and then on YouTube and figure out where people are, it's almost like the government sent certain coins to certain areas. And like, if you didn't live in that area, you didn't see.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right with that. I mean,
how
many in Pennsylvania? How many S mint mark silver have you found? Or you found any?
No.
Yeah, see, because you got the Philadelphia mint there, so why would you ship San Francisco mint coins that way? They're going to be distributed on the southern, West Coast. Now we get plenty of Denver here in Florida, but I'm hunting a couple boxes of pennies right now. But anytime I get an S Weedy, that's a major find here in Florida, an S Weedy in a coin roll 100 box, or an S Weedy when we're out metal detecting. I have 2 New Orleans mint marks. I have 2 O mint marks. They're both Barber dimes. I have 1 Barber quarter, and I found that with Shane from Ohio River History and Beard Iron Antler when Beard and Shane took me to that big church permission that Beard has there in southern Missouri when I met Beard and his wife and his dad that day. Super, super freaking nice people. And it's funny because you look at Miss Risha, Beard's wife, and she's this hippie girl with multicolored shoes on. She's got multicolored trestles in her hair. She's got piercings all over. And then you meet Beard, and he's this big bearded. I'm in my Bubba overall jeans, and you think he's like this biker kind of guy. And I'm like, you couldn't see 2 more diverse people, and yet they are such a fantastic couple. She is the nicest person in the world, and it was just great meeting their whole family, and we had a great day detecting with Shane out there. But that's the only Barber quarter I ever found in that field.
I just found, I don't know if it'll show up, but I just found this huge dandy button. Whoops, there it is.
See, that's another thing on my bucket list. That's probably what? That's probably like mid 1800s, you think? Early 1800s?
I was hunting with Rich from PA Relic Hunters.
I want to meet those guys too.
He came to Gettysburg and he called me, and I was like, "Well, yeah, I'll go." He wanted to see if I had anything over in Gettysburg, but we went someplace that I found on a map that I didn't go because not hunting myself in the woods, but he said he thought it was 1700s.
Wow. Morning,
So,
Luderate. Morning, Pat Paul.
yeah, super nice guy. So
Yeah, I like I say, I wasn't real familiar with them until a couple other channels started talking about them, and I can't remember if it was Shane. Was it Shane
yeah,
or
Shane had
Shane?
him on Ohio
Yeah.
River. Yeah.
Well, as soon as I started talking and hearing those guys, I went over and watched like 3 or 4 of their videos, and I was just immediately hooked. I like their intro. I like the way they
Mm-hmm.
say what each guy's special. Like one guy's good with research on the internet. Another guy's good at looking at the maps and finding, the little
Yep.
black dot that represented an old property,
Yep.
and each one's got their specialty. One guy identifies the stuff. So they make a good group. I mean, when they went over that train bridge onto that one island area, that they walked over that abandoned train bridge, and to get to this area back in the woods that was on the other side of whatever river they were in. I just thought that was so cool.
Mm-hmm.
We just don't have ground in Florida old enough that you're walking over train bridges to get to. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Pennsylvania. When Randy came up, he's like, "Man, there's all kinds of old places around here." I'm like, "Yeah, it's old."
Yeah, we're still talking about CBs here. I'm getting caught up, and some of the people's fathers of themselves had ham radio
Morning,
like
VD Sandigger.
Good morning, Frankie.
Camera keeps moving.
Kimberly says tomorrow the 4th is her wife's birthday. That's a cool day to be born on, 4th of July. Doctor Who says I could have been a hippie.
There we go. That's a little better.
Oh, that's right. Kimberly's met PA relic hunters. I think she did a hunt with one of them.
Yeah, I was so glad he called because, like Gene from We Dig It, they were in Gettysburg, and I guess he didn't know I was so close. I was like, well, I'm only like 45 minutes away. I'm not the driver like Randy is. I can do about 4 hours, and then I can't. So if you ever want to get me in a vehicle for more than 4 hours, you'll really see me get silly because I sort of start to lose it after a while. I can't take it.
See, and Denise isn't a big car traveling person. She'd rather fly there and experience, go get to
Yeah.
where she's going. And I think the journey there is half the fun. My buddy and I, well, we do it every other year now, but for 30 years when we were younger, we went up to Bowling Green, Kentucky to Beach Bend Raceway, and we went to the NHRA reunion races up there every year. It was a huge, huge car show, races,
Yeah.
parade through town. And we did it with like 7 guys every year. And now we do it every other year. But I mean, sometimes on the way home or the way up there when we have an extra day to take our time, we'll get off the interstate and we'll just travel the back roads up through the mountains and stop at little places. And I remember about 10, maybe 12, 15 years ago, DVDs had been out for a long time, but they just started introducing Blu-rays. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We were in some little town and we stopped at a gun and pawn store. That was their combo, guns and pawn. Okay. And it was in this little town. I swear to God, I heard banjo music playing in the background. And we walked into this guy's store, and he had a few DVDs. And I said, "Hey, do you carry any Blu-rays?" And this is no lie. This is what the guy said to me with half his teeth missing. Ain't never heard of no such thing. And I was like, "It's time for us to leave."
Yeah. You get banjos playing, you better know where you're at.
And I mean, we went down some mountain dirt roads that I'm sure they wouldn't be located on a GPS map if they decided to throw your body off. Blistering barnacles.
Good morning, Southern Relic Adventures.
Good morning, Southern Relics. Good
Good
Mr.
morning,
Dirt Road
Enforcer.
Troy is in here. He took Kimberly and I out to some of his permissions in St. Pete, and we had a great day. Miss Kimberly has gotten her first Tampa Bay Silver on this side of the state.
So Rob, the worst travel I ever had, we were going up to meet friends of my wife, and they live in Boston or near Plymouth. So we get up close to New York, and the girls have to go to the bathroom. So we get off the interstate, they go to the bathroom, we get back on the interstate, and the GPS says I need to go a certain way, and I'm thinking in the back of my head, I don't think this is so right. So next thing I know, I'm on this lane that you cannot get off. There is no exits, and it's a main drive right into New York City. And I was just ready to lose it. It took 12 hours
Ow.
to get to Plymouth, and it's only supposed to take 8. So in Rhode Island, I was driving and I'm going down, and it's like, pull over and let Maria take over. And then my other side said, no, you can't do it. You can't do it. You've done it this long. You must keep going. So I was just ready to die when we got there. I was so glad. So it was a long trip.
When I met my sister in Ocean City, she went up there for an old high school class reunion, and I was up there staying with some family. And my sister wanted to go see Ocean City. It was a couple weeks past the end of the season, so things were starting to shut down. So she got a good rate on a big hotel right on the beach. So
Yeah.
I picked her up. She didn't have a rental car. So I picked her up, and the two of us drove from Baltimore out to Ocean City, and we stayed like 3 days out in Ocean City. It was the first time I got to metal detect Ocean City, and we were heading out there. We did find a restaurant open, and I got I got 2 crab cakes, and they were the best crab cakes I had in a while. And I forgot where I was going with that story. Oh, hang on. We took a trip up to Annapolis, the capital there, and I'd never,
Yeah.
I left Maryland when I was a kid, so I never saw the capital. We weren't that far away, so we went up to Annapolis on the way out of Ocean City, and I missed a turn, and I wound up going into the Annapolis Naval Academy base that was had an armed Marine guard there with a M16, and I realized that I had taken my license and put it under my seat when I was out metal detecting. So, not thinking like an idiot, like a Menardo, as I was approaching the guard booth, I reached under my seat to get my driver's license.
Ooh, yeah.
I will tell you, we just about pooped our pants. Those Marine guards at the front of those bases are very serious. And then when I put my arms back up and explained to him I had my license under my seat and that's what I was reaching for, he calmed down a little bit, and I said, listen, we took a wrong turn. I don't mean to be here. Very sternly, he said, make an immediate U-turn and leave there. And he kept his eye on me to make sure I made that U-turn. But they don't mess around at the front of military bases. I'm telling you, I just about pooped myself. I'm telling you.
Oh, I bet. I got off one time, and I thought the GPS said to get off, and here it was an entrance to a maximum security prison. Okay, and it says like, do not enter. And I'm looking up, and I'm like, what? And it said, you are not authorized to be in this area. All these signs. And then there was one that said, this is left turn, last attempt to get, out. And so I turned, and I was like, oh my goodness. I mean, there was barbed wire up on the exit, entrance ramp going up to this place. I mean, it was. I was like,
good morning, Lost Boys Recovery.
Hey, there's Lost Boys.
A buddy of mine, an older buddy of mine, he was about 15 years older than me, but we did a lot of eBay together. We both had DVD businesses on eBay, so him and I went hunted through secondhand stores and thrift shops for DVD product and stuff, and get a good deal to buy stuff. So we traveled around a lot together. Well, he was a big golfer too, like I was before I metal detected. So every year, him and his family, like 10 of them in their family, they would send off for Masters tickets. Now, Masters tickets are free, okay? And the only time the public is allowed on Augusta National, since it's a private club, the only time the public's allowed through those gates is the 7 days of the Masters. So they put a lottery out. So you fill out the form online, you send it in, and everybody in his family would send in a form, for 4 tickets. And one year, he got selected, and he got 4 tickets to a Wednesday practice round before the tournament started on Thursday. We got the Wednesday, so him and I drove up. His son lived just on the other side of Augusta, like 10 miles from Augusta. There's a river there that separates Georgia from South Carolina. His son was a deputy in South Carolina, like 5 minutes from Augusta. So we stayed with his son. The whole family put us all up. They treated me great. So when we were driving up there, if you look at a map and you don't realize this, Augusta is in the center of nowhere in Georgia. There's no way to get to Augusta without a 3-hour drive through heavy forest. So the route we took coming up in Florida, the only place left in America that makes fissionable material, radioactive fissionable material for nuclear bombs, there is only one facility in America, and it's outside of Augusta, Georgia. And it's set miles off this back road. It's just a 2-lane road through heavy forest, and and when you pass it and you look down there, the road is so long you can't see a guard shack because it's like 3 miles in there that they won't observe you, that you're even possibly coming to cause problems there. Well, when you're going through the woods, just out of nowhere, this huge yellow government sign comes up that says you're about to enter something, nuclear fissionable field, and as of right now, your cell phone will not activate. And if you get a flat tire or you have car problems, you are not to stop. You're to drive on your flat tire until you get out of this area. And if you do pull on the side of the road, you will be immediately confronted by armed guards, and do not get out of your vehicle for any reason whatsoever. And I swear to God, we passed that sign, and the second we passed that sign, both our cell phones went dead. And the whole 10 miles we went till the end of that facility was over. When you got the sign that said you're now leaving this area, boop, our cell phones came on. I had never seen anything like that ever in my life. But yeah,
they were jamming you, baby.
They are serious about that place. They make nuclear material, let me tell you. John Lewitt, good morning. I'm in a triathlon with over 4,000 people near the beach, and next to it, once it's over, it's time. Oh, absolutely, Les Boys. That's a depositor's dream right there. I made a wrong turn once and ended up at the Canadian border. U.S. Border Patrol said I had crossed into the U.S. from Canada without stopping, which I fought and won. Did end up in a jail cell for a couple hours. Wow, Rob. I watched that border security. Denise and I watched that border security show, and there's 2 places I don't want to mess with. I don't want to mess with Australia, and I don't want to mess with Canada. Because like Rob said, I can't tell you how many people missed the last turnoff and wound up at the Canadian thing. And if they've had a record or a previous drug arrest or gun arrest, those people, they literally almost take their car parts with power tools, checking for anything. You don't want to be an American. If you have any drug conviction in the United States, you will not get into Canada. If you have any gun offense, you will not get into Canada. When I was a police officer, me and my roommate, who
We
worked
were
in the
digging
Department
up
of Health.
Carolinas.
Morning, Jeremy. Good morning, Mr. Lodak. We took a trip up to Canada, and we went to his uncle's first in Upper Michigan, and we stayed with his uncle. And his uncle said, I was armed. I had 2 guns with me, and I had my badge with me. So we drove up to the Canadian border, and we parked on the U.S. side. It was like a back road, and we went into their little building there at the thing. And we went in, and I identified myself as a police officer. And I said, what's your policies for an officer bringing a gun into Florida? And he looked right at me. And this guy was freaking no nonsense, this Canadian Mountie. And he goes, well, I'll tell you what, you come into Canada with your gun, okay, and we catch you with your gun or guns in Canada. What we will do is we will lock you up. We will take your badge. We will melt it to your guns. And then we will mail your melted badge and your guns back to your department and tell them where they can come get you. And I was like, holy crap, they ain't messing around here. So we locked my guns in his uncle's safe before we went to Canada.
Yeah, I don't want any problems when we go across the border, because I watch that show too, and like I don't want my vehicle completely torn, and they just give it to me in a heap and say, here it is.
Yeah. All right, Silver Pause 22 says 3 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. WWP auction number 4, remembering a good friend. Come and join all the fun and the giveaways. There you go, Silver Pause. No worries, buddy. Church comes first, buddy. No worries. I'm usually in the front row.
Hello, Jeff Davis.
Shaz73's here. Good morning. Good morning, Shaz. I'll tell you what, Scott saying we need to get some races going, and we do. So let me pull up a race here, Jason, or excuse me, Peter. Which one do we want to get going? Let's get this one going first. Yeah, I guess I should put the duck race up on the screen, huh?
That would help.
Yeah, that would help if you're hearing duck racing music in the background, guys.
Quacks.
Alrighty, add to stream. All right, there we go.
We are racing today. Humans.
Yeah, I've got these preset. All right, guys, we had 43 people in my Sunday or my Monday Dig stream. That is phenomenal turnout. Thank you to you 43 people. Let's shuffle characters.
Look at that unison clapping. They look like they're all clapping their hands.
They do. I guess they're doing it. Okay, all right, we've shuffled twice. This is for everybody for a mystery silver coin and a sticker that was in my Monday Digs stream and left a comment during the live stream premiere. 43s of you, so 3, 2, 1. You know, it's funny, Peter, we're sitting here already. It's 10:45. Same thing with Charlie. I don't know where the time goes.
It goes fast. All right, Dirt Cloud heading up. Librarian now is in the lead. I like how they all bunch up at once and then someone launches themselves across. I don't know if I've ever saw this one where they're running.
Yeah, this is called World Games or something, the racers. I put 2 of these. This is the one I do for the Monday Digs, and then I've got the other duck race. Because this one allows me up to 100 people, but literally the actual ducks allow up to 1,000 ducks. Look at that, guys. Does Peter not look comfy there in the lazy boy recliner?
Hello, Lee Gibson.
Always this last 10 seconds, Peter.
Yeah.
Somebody going to come flying up? Is it going to be Randy or somebody else coming up on the bottom? Is it going to be Bells or is it going to be Tanya?
Ninja! Congratulations.
No, this is the Monday Dig, honey. We can win without being here. There we go. Brad's going to get a mystery silver. Now, see, if Charlie was co-hosting, he would say he was a slob. So we'll show him.
So is Jim Steele at the end?
There he is. 24th out of 43. Not bad, Jim. Middle of the pack there, buddy.
Old Pelon, I don't know if we said hello to them or not. Good morning.
Good morning, Keegan. Lee Gibson. Good morning, Lee Gibson. Welcome to the chat. DK1. Good day. Dear Diary, day number 5584 without sex when jogging and flip sacks. Just to remind me. Oh my God. Oh, Jason doesn't miss too many jokes either, Peter.
No, I've been seeing some of them. He can probably tell when I'm laughing when they pop up.
Oh, Jason, that's great. I'll tell that one to Denise. All right, let's get this one off the screen and hit remove from screen. Okay, and then bring up duck race. Well, we got to go to present, share screen, share screen, duck race.
EK1 Tech, good morning.
I'm sorry, who did I miss? Yeah, Danny N. Good morning.
So we're at 90. I just checked here.
Wow.
10 more.
Well, even with 90, we're going to run a mystery race for Mr. Charlie.
Yes.
Oh, Jan says, Rob, you should try the Spaceballs race. They bounce on the big balls. I will set one of those up for next week. Rob Lee Gibson is new. Thank you, Mark. Welcome, Lee Gibson. Welcome to the chat. Sometimes I'm a few minutes behind, buddy. Don't think I'm ignoring you. I just get a little behind on the chat here because I blab too much. Jim Duncan says 5th place. Guys, let me give a special shout out to Jim Duncan. Jim Duncan has been sitting next to me at my metal detecting club for like a year. Him and his daughter sit there. He's got a beautiful little daughter. And guys, being Menardo, I did not realize that the Jim I sit next to at metal detecting club meeting every month is the same Jim Duncan that's in my chat. So when I realized that, I was rolling on the floor because I'm sorry, Jim. So thank you, Jane Doe. A lot of people like the duck racing. Wow, your mom's a trooper, Peter. She's been here the whole day.
I know. She's hanging out.
That's right. If she can't be a jock, Peter, she's going to be a jock supporter, okay? Baron von Quackemeyer will prevail. Doctor Who has some great... You know what? Jeff Davis. Good morning, Jeff Davis. Jeff Davis is another Marylander. Peter, I met him with his family when they were vacationing on Clearwater Beach.
Good morning,
nice
Reeds.
family. Good morning. Is that Reed's Art of Adventure?
Yeah, Reed's Art of Adventure.
No worries. Sure he didn't take that. Mr. Reed, welcome, sir. Are you still out at your family's, or did you head back home, sir? And if I heard Reed correctly, I think he said his wife's getting a motorcycle too. Reed's got that cool little Enduro I think he bought from China. He's made some good videos of him zipping around town on that baby, using his motorcycle to go metal detecting. All right, let's get in the second race here. Add to stream. Okay, this is for everybody that was here last Sunday. We'll shuffle the characters one more time. And thank you to the 113 people that came in and out last week. 3, 2, 1.
All right, here we go.
Oh, I got to get the
Get the
comment off.
Comment, yeah. I couldn't remember what it was called.
It's all right, buddy. I have brain farts like that all the time.
All right. Got some nice looking ducks here. Charlie's up there. He's trying to win remotely. Look at that. He's up.
You know what? When we were doing this, we were finishing that up this morning before the stream. When I was watching, listening to you, Pat and Randy, I said, "Oh, we got to add Charlie." She's like, "Well, he's the co-host." I go, "Yeah, but he was here last week, so he gets in the race for the people that were here last week, so he could win today." He's up there with the Cosmonaut helmet on.
Yes.
Miss Leanne Crawford's got the beautiful unicorn.
Single
Pat Paul is
star.
Spider-Man. Now, Peter, I don't know if you realize that John Long Silver Rails is Jamie's dad, Metal Shark's dad.
Oh, okay.
His Silver Rails he is a model train enthusiast, and he does model train videos. He's also very. We're down to 5 seconds here.
Outdoors is
going
up
to be
there.
Chaz? No,
Bells.
is Bell going to
Is
take
it going to
it?
be Bells?
Oh,
Yep.
there too. Bell takes it.
Belle's got the sunglasses and the beach hat on.
She's looking like Miss Florida Beach right there. All right, I will give her the choice of a silver dime or a $2 bill.
Are you writing these down?
Yes, I keep a log.
Okay, I know Charlie says that. I gotta make sure.
And then, like when I mail something out, I put a red check mark with The day I mailed it out was what I mailed out. As you can see, I have a couple pages that I don't have everything checked off because even though I mailed out 14 prizes last week, I still have a few prizes to mail out. So, all right, let's get this one off the channel.
Oh, hold on a minute. Here, I know. Somebody's here. Get him.
Sounds like a big dog. Good morning, Mr. Sheldon.
Girls just got home, so he's going nuts.
Okay, let's all right, I'm going to go to I guess we can take the poll off. Honey, 72% of people said if your significant other did not have an issue with it, would you be metal detecting more often? 72% of people said yes.
Yes.
So we'll end the poll right now, and then I will go to participants.
Had 90 votes. I got 91.
91.
Likes.
All right, let's I'm going to check out and see who was not here last week that we can add to this week's race. I know
Backyard Beekeeper guy says thank you for the sticker pack and the $2 bill. He got it this week.
I did get some out, so I'm glad. I got more to get out this week. I had a little family crisis I dealt with for 7 hours yesterday. Left the house on my third bite of dinner at 7:15 a.m. and walked back in the door or p.m. and walked back in the door at 2:39 last night. And all I did was spend a lot of money and put a Band-Aid on the problem. All right, got Jeremy in there digging up Carolinas. Got to get Jan Lewitt in there. John. I don't remember typing him in.
From 100.
Wow.
Make sure you smash that thumbs up button for Rob and Charlie.
Okay.
I'm going to post Charlie's link again.
Thank you, Peter. We got to get Mr. Lodak in there. Got to get him in on a duck race. We got to get Mrs. Can-Do in there. Appreciate her hanging out with us.
Kimberly says to make sure she's in.
Oh, let me see if Kimberly, the Sunshine State Detector, is already in. I thought she popped in last week.
Scott McClure, is he in? And then SC.
SC is Mr. Sheldon.
Okay.
Kimberly's in, but we have to get SC in there. I want to make sure Scott McClory's in there since he said let's get some going on some races. Let me make sure I got Scott in there.
All right. My mother says make Peter get the link for the model train video.
Will do.
Okay.
Yeah, John. J-Man's dad's a super nice guy. He also goes out and hunts occasionally with J-Man.
You can message me and I'll.
Okay. Yeah, now that we actually connected by phone.
Yes, that's so much easier than that messenger.
Yeah. But Denise K uses that Facebook Messenger, and she talks to Jeff from Austria that came over here to stay with Denise and I. High Tones Drifter or High Tones Detecting.
Yes.
He's in Thailand right now, and she's able to FaceTime him and talk to him for free through Facebook's Messenger.
Yeah, now see that I could see it being useful, but I like to speak, with people. Like
I mean, it's just so cool that you can get around.
Yeah.
All right, I don't see Scott in here. Let me double check it one more time. Do we remember typing in Scott McClory, honey?
I do, but you can check.
Okay.
All right. See, Happy Chappy just did a $2 super chat.
Happy Chappy's the man. He does one or two of those every week. Chappy, thank you so much. It helps with shipping. Scott, Denise and I thought we typed in Scott McClory this morning, but I'm double checking. don't see it.
You the rich participants now?
Yeah. Yeah, the other 2 races are for the people from last week, huh?
Well, I don't know who checked anybody for today.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah.
didn't know you did the list for today.
Okay, there's Scott McClory added in. We've got Old Palan in there. We got Mystic. You know, having this ready, Peter, with the 90 people from last week makes this so
Oh,
much faster
I bet.
as opposed to building 120 this morning. You know, I've already got 95 of them done. Yep, we got Old Palan in there. I've got Shaz 73 in there. Silver Paws.
What I don't understand is how Marlon does it all on phone.
Oh,
I would lose my mind trying to do it on the phone.
Pat does
I
all
just
his videos on the phone too. I cannot do. I can barely do a short on the phone.
Yeah, I can't. I did find on the phone that if you go into the YouTube studio, you can sort your videos by how many subscribers or views you got, which you can't do that on the PC. So I did find that interesting, because some of my shorts videos that I have on the Detective Smile that didn't do good, I removed them and moved them over to the Detective Smile Shorts channel, and they're doing great. So I'm recycling. So
Well, I'll tell you something. Pat's going through some old videos too because he does a short, and I'll say to him, I don't remember that find, or that was cool that you just found it. He's like, no, that's a find from 3 years ago before you met me. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, that's why that one didn't sound familiar to me. Oh, got to
yeah,
get Dane Doe in here.
I like having the Shorts channel just so I can test different stuff out instead of having that on my regular
And
channel.
how's your shorts channel doing?
I'm over 100 subscribers, so that's good. So it's growing. So
You getting good views on them?
yeah, I found it like I don't know. For me, it was confusing having the long, I call it the long content, and the shorts on the same channel. So I said I'm just creating the shorts, and when I'm out, I'll do the video, regular video, and then I'll maybe grab my phone and do a shorts, video of it, and then I plug it up on on that channel and to see how it works.
What I've had to learn is when I find something good, if I'm out hunting but I may not have enough footage for a full video, I have to remember to film it horizontal and vertical. I know Pat calls them something else.
Yeah.
But I make sure now that every decent find I find, I film vertical in the short format. So, once I release the video and people have seen those, I can start releasing the shorts on them. So I'm trying to remember now to do a video on both formats.
Yeah, YouTube's supposed to do something where they have the shorts, but they can do them horizontal.
Well, you can take a regular clip, and when you
Yeah.
publish it in the short format, it'll do like this. But sometimes if you in that regular clip, you may not have it centered right. So there was one that I showed a little teeny metal Luger, and on the short thumbnail, all you saw was the little end of the barrel because I had it off center because that was a regular clip.
Yep. I've had that happen too.
I believe we've got everybody in here. We've got 126 people in this race. We have 67 in here now, so obviously that counts a lot of people that were here last week. All right.
We got 94 likes.
That's awesome, good people. All right, hit the set button. If you do not see your name in this one, please let me know. I think I'm trying very hard to get everybody in here. All righty, let's add it to the stream. All righty, we're going to do this for a silver dime and channel stickers or a $2 bill. We'll give people here their choice. All right, 3, 2, 1.
All right, back to the Ducks.
Henry, sorry I get you in this. Yes. We
Andy
have
Candy is the
back.
Liberty. Oh, Danny Boy
Danny
is
Boy
the
is Trump.
Trumpy Duck.
We have Mrs. Can-Do is the Sherlock Holmes with the pipe and the hat. Stu
Old
is the
Peon's
Bumblebee.
got the
Got the old Zorro mask going there.
yeah.
Sherry Lynn Martin's got the tripwire bandana going. Chilling with Dan B is the with the spiked what do you call the centerpiece?
Yeah, yeah. I just
after I shave my head.
Mohawk.
What is it? Oh,
Mohawk.
Mohawk. Denise is Mohawk.
Took me a while too.
Peter, Denise did not like that 2 weeks I had that Mohawk.
I guess not. Yeah, my wife would not like if
I tried, buddy. I tried for 2 weeks. I did not get one permission with that Mohawk.
So it was funny. One year we went down to the beach. I took suntan, the stuff you put on your face, that stick.
All right, we're just about to go. Is it going to be NorCal? Yes.
NorCal. Got it. Congratulations.
Has NorCal been here this morning?
I do not remember seeing him.
I don't remember him either. So if NorCal's not here, because it's easier for me, honey, to leave the people from last week. Okay, I haven't seen Chris here either. So if neither one of them lets us know they're in, see if you see their names in the chat.
Oh, no, NorCal said what?
NorCal says, you're a winner, sir.
Yep. He said what?
Deb Melvin, you are correct, ma'am. I need to put your name in. And Backyard, I'll check to see if you're in there too.
Yep, they say
so we got NorCal.
Is here. He is here. Yep.
Way to go, NorCal.
Yep, he just won.
You want a silver dime or $2 bill, NorCal?
Let's see. Morning, Beth.
All right, let me add, while we're waiting for NorCal to tell us, if you could keep an eye on that, because I can't see the screen when I'm
Yep. I'll get you.
Okay, I got to get Deb Melvin in there.
NorCal says dime, please.
Silver dime, got it. Okay, and
so I was down at the beach and I took the suntan stick and put it in my hair and got it all greasy and made a mohawk.
Oh, cool.
I have to message you that picture. It's pretty funny.
Please do.
So, however, though, I could not figure out how to get the sun stick out of my hair. So I washed my hair with Dawn liquid detergent and I took it all out. So Dawn does cut grease.
There you go. Yeah, Backyard Beekeeper guy, you were in the Monday race, but I don't see you here, so we will add you.
Right. So Bart, I don't know if it's he. Did you? Let's see here.
Okay, we're going to run the race for Silver Paws is donating a 1/10. I guess I'm assuming a silver round or 1/10 silver. Let's do Silver Paws' race, and he wants number 22 to get it. So let's race this one for Silver Paws' race. Thank you, Silver Paws. We shall shuffle characters. Okay, go to duck race. 3, 2, 1. I'll tell you what, we'll do a $2 bill for the first place winner and the last place winner, and then Silver pauses silver for number 22 he wants. So we'll do 3 winners in this race.
Rob, you got time to do one? I'll do a sticker pack.
Oh, absolutely, sir.
Okay, I'll do some my fabulous Park Rat Pat stickers that he makes for me. So if you need
I'll tell you something,
stickers,
he made some beautiful stickers for Kimberly.
you need stickers, head over to Park Rat Pat Metal Detecting and get some.
Thank you for that little shout out for him. It's amazing how many people come on her and give other channels to get their stickers too when Pat's a member of this community and
yes, he designed
race,
my sticker completely from scratch.
I like your sticker.
I told him, I said, hey, watch my videos and then see what comes into your head. And that's what came into your head. And I'm like, okay, well, then that's what it will be. I did see a new name, Henry Sawyer.
Yeah, we got Henry in there. And
Okay.
Lee Gibson, I'm adding you as a moderator, sir or ma'am. I added John's. A couple people last week were asking me for blue wrenches. Bart Cummins. Good morning or good afternoon. Bart Cummins. Oh, who do we got?
Beth nice Vergara.
Has Beth been in here this morning?
Yes, I'm almost positive I saw.
Beth, if you've been here, please give us a shout out. 717, I did put you in there, sir, before the last race. You are in there. All right, well, let's see if we wait to hear from Beth.
Yeah. I thought I saw Beth here.
And 22 is Scott McClory. See, he asked us to do some races and put his name in.
Nice.
There you go, Scott McClory. I know he's been here all morning. Scott, give us a shout out here.
Scott McClure says here. I still did not see Beth.
Okay, Scott, just send me your address, sir. Let me type in my email, flthunder@me.com. There we go. All right, and let's see who finished DAL. Peter, we just found out what DAL means. Dead ass last.
Yeah. Oh, there's Beth, I think. Is that the Beth that...
it's just
yeah, that was the other Beth.
And dead ass last was Keegan M.
Keegan M.
Because I have seen Mystic Librarian here this morning. Fool Half says, no, not Jim Steele. Thank you, Scott. If you send it to me, I'll look it up. But yeah, if you wouldn't mind again, that would be awesome. Thank you, Jan. Hold on, Jan. I'm going to make Jan a moderator also. There you go, Jan. You now have a blue wrench.
No Beth and no Keegan. Yeah.
Okay. Mystic, let me know you're still here, buddy. Oh, get out. Jim Steele's second. Jim, you still here, buddy?
Oh, there's Keegan M.
All right. Keegan's going to get a $2 bill.
He says, or she, if you're not first, you're last.
That's right. That's
sometimes
Ricky Bobby. If you ain't first, you're last. Baby Jesus. That movie's so stupid, it's funny. When me and Denise getting a silly movie, we'll watch that one. Keegan, there's my address, sir.
Still no Beth. And I did not see Jim Steele either.
Uh-oh, Jim, where you at, buddy? He's going to be very upset he won a race he's not here for.
Oh, my.
Thank you, Tom. You most certainly may post your website, Jen. May I post my website where I sell photos? You go right ahead, sir. Take care, Silver Paws. Got to spend some time with the little lady.
Thanks for stopping
Thank you,
by,
Silver
Silver
Paws.
Paws.
Mike, thank you very much. Enjoy your day. Have a safe 4th. Thank you very much. Look
Mike,
at
you have a
Diana's
good
phone.
one.
She meant to say bye, Silver Paws, and it says bye, B-U-Y, Silver Paws. You gotta love talking to a phone, Diana.
Yep. It tries.
It does. It tries. All right. Is Mr. Martin Smythe here?
He was.
All right. Take care, Kimberly. Please tell Kathy happy birthday for me.
Yep. Martin is
There you
here.
go. Jim Steele's not here, but Martin Smythe is here.
Yes.
All right, Martin.
Okay. That's how it rolls.
All righty. We're going to do a duck race number 5 before we wrap up here for Mr. Peters sticker pack.
Yep.
And then we're going to call it a day. Since poor Miss Denise is doing all the work in the background here to get ready for the race again. Shuffle characters.
You just want to have him email you, Rob, and then you shoot it over to me.
All right, hold on one second, Peter. D. Crap, I missed her. All right, here's the last race of the Guy Days. Mr. Peter's going to do a generous sticker pack. 3, 2, 1. Beto D is in the room. Good evening. Good morning, Beto.
All right. Metal Sharks is coming out strong. They ate their Wheaties this morning.
Whenever I hear Metal Sharks, I just think of the Baby Shark song.
That's right.
Rob, don't forget to check your gas. Yes, thank you, Miss
Look
Diana.
at there,
I will do
Jane.
that as soon as I get off the
Jane
screen.
Doe. Jane Doe, you can drive and get your stickers.
Do your folks live near you, Peter?
Yeah, yes, they're about 10 minutes away. So
That's awesome, buddy.
yeah.
Yeah, but she's out front way too fast. So is Bill Gallant. There's Tri Valley as the witch. Just be cool.
Old Pilon,
John Southern Adventures.
John at the pipe.
Yep. Alrighty, we got 22
Rusty
seconds.
Fines has been up there pretty good. Okay, now they're falling back.
Florida Knox Dalton is Superman today.
Looter 8. Are you gonna make it to 10 minutes?
Is he gonna hold it? But no, they all faded. Who's gonna come up at the last second? It's gonna be Melody Price. Is she here? And it's
Melanie.
Frankie gonna take second most time.
Yeah. All right. I don't know if
All right, let's see if Melody's here. See if Miss Melody Price is here.
Melody Price.
I knew Mystic was still here. If somebody didn't answer, Mystic would have got it. But Frankie, your duck was so close there, buddy. Frankie was.
Yes, Mark C. Happy 4th.
Thank you, Mark. Frankie was 8th, and Backyard Beekeeper Guy was 9th. Okay, but there's the first place in show. Is Miss Melody in the room? Let me check my participants.
Yeah, I haven't seen that name.
Yeah, she's not showing as a participant. Tom Kingery.
Tom Kingery's praying. He gets it.
Well, Tom Kingery's in the room. Has he said anything?
Yeah, he's given the praying sign.
There you go, Tom. We're giving that one to Tom.
Yep. So Rob, you want them to email you and then you can forward it over?
Absolutely,
Or
sir. Let me put up my email one more time for Tom Kinger, even though I think he probably has it.
yeah.
Congratulations, Tom. Don't forget, our forefathers came here because they didn't want to pay their taxes. Woohoo! Chappie, Chappie. Thank you, Chappie, and thank you for all the super chats. 717 says he's working on a video today. DK1's got the Great American Flag logo.
Bye,
Bill says, I
William.
got hungry, so my duck didn't finish the race. Absolutely. Mr. Peter, thank you so much for today.
Yes, this was awesome.
Who is DAL? I have to check that one. Oh, who is DAL? What is DAL? Diana is dead ass last. That is just a new one we learned. Silver Pause, where somebody came in and said, let's do a race for DAL. And I'm like, what the hell is DAL? And DAL is dead ass last. So you learn something every week here on the stream, folks. So, but there is my my email, guys, for anybody that needs it. I got a little less crazy of a week this guy, so we're going to try and get caught up with prizes.
It could be drive after lunch.
It could be. I'm not driving anywhere after lunch. I got a dozen hamburgers to make when we get off of here.
That's right.
Mr. Peter. Mr. Peter, I'd like to thank you so much for being the co-host today.
It was fun. I hope Charlie is. I was going to say, I hope Charlie is Charlie's proud when he watches it.
You know, he will watch it when he get back. He'll watch it. Oh, he's eating that order of butter gooeyes Denise sends him. So, but
if I co-host again, you'll have to send me some butter gooeyes.
Yeah. Bill Gallant, that's okay. No worries, sir. We're wrapping it up right now. Thanks for hanging out with us, Bill. Orlando, 717, Olin, Tom, Shaz.
Yes, this was great.
You cannot petition the Lord with prayer. Yeah, I actually feel that same way too, Doctor Who. Dirt Devil Detective, thanks for being here too. Bill, Martin, Shannon, Mark C, Miss Diana.
You haven't hit the thumbs up.
Oh, but who won this race? Oh, who won this race was DAL. I'm sorry. DAL was Bells, and she hasn't been here either. So, but thanks, Jan. Thanks for everybody that was. Rob, I will pray for you after this, since your wife is doing all the work for the party. Thank you, Miss Jane Doe. And if you would, please say a prayer for my sister too. That was my 7-hour crisis yesterday, and I took care of the immediate crisis, but we still have a long way to go. I just got her out of the major crisis. I still have a long way to go, and that took me 7 hours. So thank you, Miss Jane Doe. That means a lot to me. Thank you. If John Long was here, he would say the same thing. So thank you, folks, for the prayers on a Sunday. Peter, thank you very much, and everybody that was here today. Mr. Charlie, thank you for your time. I greatly appreciate it. And hopefully we'll see all you folks on Monday Digs. Please check out my last coin roll hunting video. It is just incredible in the finds. I do all the finds live, all the rolls live. I'll be posting another one Thursday, the second half box to it. And it's going to be hard to keep up with it, but it will. And folks, I know everybody here is subscribed to Peter.
Yeah, and I'll be at the beach, Rob, on Monday Digs. So get ready. You'll see Ocean City.
You're a slob. Everybody's a slob.
Oh, and don't forget to head over to Marlon's Rare Videos.
Yeah, guys, Marlon should be starting in 6 minutes. Let's go give Marlon, since Denise has ran to the grocery store to get the last few things we need for the party. I want to catch her by phone when she's still there and see if she remembers to pick up a watermelon, because you cannot have a 4th of July party without watermelon. Even though my buddy's wife's bringing her triple chocolate fudge bunnies that are freaking die for. So you got to have more than one choice. Peter, thank you so much for today, buddy. And as soon as I hear from the folks that won your race, I'll get a hold of you so you can mail those out.
All right, sounds great.
Thank you, everybody, for being here. So much appreciated. Thank you very much.